friend of mine just got his first table saw, a job site saw, which is very exciting, but he does lack push sticks. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about push sticks and make him a few along the way. This is the design we're going to be going with, and if I was playing the YouTube game correctly, I would call these the ultimate push stick, and I'd sell plans for just $10 or something. For a start, don't trust anyone who's selling the ultimate anything. These are probably the best one, but I'll let you decide for yourself. And it's not my design, so I'm not going to sell you the design. They're available for free. This design comes from the North Bennett Street School, which is a very prestigious trade school in America. And I'm going to let those people sell you on it. You got the likes of Matt Wagster, Alan Casburn, but more importantly to me, my friend Nick Moreldo taught me this design. He is a graduate of North Bennett Street School and of the Furniture Institute of Massachusetts, and he's taught at the Center for Furniture Craftsmanship at the Furniture Institute of Massachusetts along with Phil Lowe, and now also teaches at North Bennett Street School himself. So he knows what he's doing, and you can see some of his student work on screen now. And you know what? I'm going to take Nick's advice on these matters over any YouTuber, including myself, on these things. So I'm not trying to sell you on my word, but on the words of genuine experts in their field. This design is cheap to make. It is very easy to make. Honestly, it has improved the control I have at the table saw. I used to use this style push stick, as it's basically a clone of what came with my table saw, a saw stop, and it never felt quite right. You have just too much leverage and not enough control. These bird's mouth design are famous for just not having enough control. This is a scrap of marine ply, 12mm thick piece. This design I found will work in 12mm or in 19mm just fine. We'll be able to get two push sticks out of this, and I've just traced this push stick like so, but I'll have links to the PDF so you can print it out and stick it down yourself. You want a plywood that is no voids. Marine ply is pretty decent in that regard, but Baltic birch would be preferable. Yes, it does need to be plywood. If anyone is using hardwood or softwood for their push sticks with this sort of handle design, that is a very poor choice because it'll be weak in at least one direction and you'll have a bad time. Likewise, if you're 3D printing it, don't, because it'll break and then you'll be sad when you cut into it, possibly impaled, which is not good. I'm going to have a 10mm hook, so that's that section here on my push stick. So the fence is set to about 6.5mm because we're accounting for the kerf. I'll push it part of the way through and stop the saw. That gives us a nice flat reference surface for this section here when we're actually using the push stick. I'm going to do that on both sides because we've got two push sticks to make. I did accidentally go a little bit too far here and here on the heel. I just pushed the blade a bit too far, so I'm just going to retrace this with a thicker outline so that we're maximizing our heel size, because that's where all of the magic happens, having a large heel on these push sticks. So for this one, I'll just have a slightly shorter handle, and that's okay. Now I can take that straight to the bandsaw and cut it all out, but I find drilling a hole here and here with a force and a bit just makes it go a lot quicker, because I don't want to change to a small bandsaw blade, and with a 12mm blade, that radius is just annoying. So I took some sandpaper to the edges and cleaned up all the splinters, that sort of thing. And then I've applied a green dye to it. Normally I would say don't bother gussing up your push stick because it is a consumable. And on that, if you are the type of person who thinks that the Mud Flap Girl push sticks are appropriate or good, I'd just kindly just unsubscribe now. We don't need any of that nonsense. The reason for the bright green or any bright colour is that it will just stand out in a wood shop a lot easier because when you're not looking across the workshop to try and find a piece of plywood, you can go, oh, bright green, that's my push stick, and go get that. But otherwise, it's a push stick, it's a consumable. Don't worry about making it pretty. So in practice with the push stick, it hooks onto the end, and you can angle the push stick towards the fence to keep the workpiece tight up against the fence, so you're pushing down and pushing in. Then when you're through the cut, you can bring it back. Pair that with the bird's mouth. It's a lot harder to push it in because you just don't have enough control because you've got to angle your arm all these weird ways, and it's really hard to bring that workpiece back safely, so what you end up doing is pushing it away. So these just end up being less safe. They're still quite useful for the bandsaw for when you've got a lot of featherboards in the way and you're doing a big resaw. That's about where I use that bird's mouth ones. What about if you're doing a cut that is thinner than your push stick? Well, you just chew into it. That's what this one is here. It's been chewed up. And I could cut off the bottom, make a new hook on it, but it's just a scrap of plywood. Goes into the bin, and that's fine. I've got these now. That's fine. So in my view, if this is good enough for award winners, it's a good enough push stick for me. Did I mention that Nick is also an award winner? Nick will hate this video because he suffers from imposter syndrome, so killing him with compliments is going to be very funny to me. Thanks for watching.